And we're live.
Yeah, I think they came out after your whole hullabaloo.
Yeah, I'd rather just get stoned as a motherfucker, just so stoned I could barely move, which is the plan.
And you will, I promise.
Let's see, we are 148 days out. 148. 2 hours, 51 minutes, 12 seconds.
What does that mean?
Until my probation's over and I can smoke dope.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you're like, you're 3/4 of the way through. No,
at least. Yeah, more than that. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you going to move to a more weed-friendly? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like the moment that thing clicks over, that I'm going to time it just right so that 747 is like crossing the state line.
Have somebody in first class throw an edible at you. So
no.
Eat it like Pac-Man.
fucking dart me with marijuana concentrate the moment.
Bear right down your gullet.
Oh, it hurts so much. Okay, I'm high. I'm high now. Okay, we're good.
But didn't you think Biden would like loosen up all the weed shit?
No, Biden's still an old fucking fart, man. See, look. He's no Bernie Sanders, all right? Look, when you do ads after this, but like I'm steeped in this nonsense right now. You want to know who's leading the charge for marijuana legalization? That fucking Mitch McConnell, right? Like not Mitch McConnell. Who's the majority leader? What's his fucking name?
Chuck Schumer?
Chuck Schumer, that guy. Yeah, the old white dude from New York.
Yeah, you're right. I remember
he's leading the fucking charge, but
we're sending it to Biden's desk whether he wants it or not.
We'll see about that because like there's like 3 or 4 Democrats who are not down for the legalized marijuana in the Senate.
Who are they? That's bullshit.
I don't know. There's a list of them. Manchin, maybe even Cory Booker too. Like there's like 3 or 4 of them. I don't know. I was looking at it the other day. They're against legalization. And so but you need the supermajority, right? To avoid the filibuster, you need 60 votes. So you need every Democrat plus, 9 or 10, whatever it is, Republicans. And that just seems like it's far-fetched.
Wow. I want to look into this and get all the numbers, but it's slow pace.
It's pretty much what I just said. There was like 4 or 5 Dems who were just like, no, we're not up for legal marijuana.
So we
think it causes more problems than it does good. We think it's going to create a drug epidemic, like it does in all those other places where it's legal, and 40% of the United States and in Canada and Mexico, where they have those epidemics of marijuana dopers running through the streets, starting fires and murdering. And they just eat nachos and chill.
So Cory Booker says he's going to release a draft bill to end marijuana prohibition. So I don't think he's the anti guy. But I believe you that there's probably some Democrats who aren't on board. I don't know why it's even a partisan issue. Who's the dumbass who's not 5?
It's 4 or 5. There's 4 or 5 of them. That's what I was indicating by that.
Just mirror him like an animal would.
It's fun.
We developed this while you were off screen, Woody.
You don't know about this. This is the thing. This is a private joke between the 3 of us. You're not involved. Hey, boys.
You'll never get it. And it's so funny.
Shit, I wish I could figure out who the holdup is. I'll have to look at this offline.
There's multiple holdups.
I looked into it. There are 2 Democrats against marijuana. There are 3 more Democrats on the fence about it. And it doesn't appear that there are any Republicans looking to make up those numbers.
What about Rand Paul? I think
Rand Paul doesn't like the part of the bill that either some of the taxation issues, because he's got that libertarian spin to him, or maybe even part of what the taxation, what the tax dollars go to, because I believe the tax dollars go to like minority groups or minority marijuana businesses to fund that.
Not just marijuana businesses, specifically minority marijuana
businesses? Yes. We got to get this black and brown marijuana business.
Wait, so it's literally like a racial requirement to get this?
Because the idea behind a lot of this is that black and brown people have been targeted by marijuana laws in the past, because apparently not one white person has had any issues due to marijuana law. Not one. Not one. You give me one example of
but
one
find
of
me
those
someone rich and famous who also got in trouble.
Well,
That would never happen. It'd always
Kyle's
be
a
some
minority.
poor nobody
He's a
you've never heard
Neanderthal.
of.
Yeah, you're a Neanderthal.
Yeah,
They go after the talls, the Neanderthals.
They need special provisions in that bill for those of us with Neanderthals.
So Kyle's exactly
fun of my
right. There are
forehead.
two Republicans, Cynthia Loomis and Rand Paul, who are open to descheduling marijuana. I guess that's legalizing descheduling.
Dude, they can't even get the bill to like fix the banking through.
But they balked at tax and racial equity provisions. Yeah. So
Cynthia Loomis, haven't even heard of
tax and racial equity provisions, like the
see,
MORE
like
Act.
they just tried to get the banking bill through that would allow for like, you know, banks to be able to handle like marijuana businesses, deposits and such, so they can run a business and not worry about any sort of federal interference. That didn't make it through the Senate. Like they can't get that going. Can't get it co-sponsored or whatever. I don't remember. But most of my knowledge about how the fucking Congress works comes from that fucking cartoon with a little bill that dances.
It's a good
around
cartoon.
I'm just a bill or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, if I do feel like the Democrats, who do everything fucking wrong, in my opinion, are doing this right. This is a popular issue. Most people want this. Be the pot party. Your dumbass are people who don't like guns. It's the 9th most important thing to them. People who do like guns, number 1. This is they can be single issue voters. They're pro gun. The people who are against guns are more pro healthcare or fuck the rich or whatever, than they are anti-gun.
Yeah. I saw my buddy.
Democrats are on the popular side of this. They should twist that knife.
My buddy Eric, Iraq veteran 8888. I happened to catch one of his tweets the other day, and it was like, we need a politician who isn't some 70 or 80-year-old fuddy buddy stuck in the 70s who thinks marijuana is evil, who can support gun rights and has some common sense. It's like, how is that so hard to find? And
yeah,
it's
funny you said that. They literally said, I think it was the Alaskan guy, but I need to see it again. We're in the middle of an opioid epidemic. We can't legalize pot. It's a gateway drug to opiates.
Huh. I mean, that's so true.
I've had
all the evidence of that.
I've never even wanted an opiate. You know why? Because I got weed, motherfucker. I've got weed. Like when they took my weed away, I was like, well, it's time to get some dental work now. You know why? They're gonna hook me up with some Tylenol 3. Like I was getting elective dental work, so they would hook me up with something to take the edge off.
I would way rather do acid than Vicodin, than all the Vicodin in the world. And I love them both, but
I mean, if I had my druthers, I'd do them both at the same time. That's
isn't acid a bad time and confusing and hallucinogen and like?
No, that's all horseshit. It just makes you. It honestly, if you're doing it with a bunch of people, like one hit, you will be like you will have the funniest night of your life. Like everything that everybody says is hilarious. You will gut laugh from deeper than you've ever laughed before. The hallucinations, there's mild visual hallucinations. Like if you look at stucco or if you look at anything that has like a pattern to it, like a random pattern or anything like that, like a moving blanket, which I'm looking at right now. But there's no, like all of the Hollywood shit, like people's faces are melting off. I think it's a bunch of people who like wanted to look cool. Like they did a little bit of drugs, or maybe they didn't even do it and just made it up. Like they were drinking 800 proof beer.
No, acid and LSD, are they different? They're different things?
Same thing.
LSD is the one where like you really need a babysitter, a sober person to make sure that you don't make terrible decisions, right?
I don't think so. I mean, okay. I can function fine.
I think what you really need is like a planned environment. Like you wouldn't want to be like, all right, busy day at the office today. I got my briefcase, my hit of acid, and my coffee. All right, let's get to it. A lot of big decisions to make today. The boardroom is going to be counting on us. like it's more of like, all right, I've got dinner planned. I got microwave dinners. I got my two best friends here. We got the lights turned down. We're going to watch these movies. Like there's a little music in the background. The phone is turned off. Let's do some acid. It's more like that because I've done mushrooms a couple times. And like with that, I don't know how that compares to LSD. I know, I guess there's
mushrooms. I'm on my ass. I'm like, I can't function. I got to sit. It's like super weed for me.
The first time I took them, I just had pretty colors, you know, and then the second time I had like actual visual hallucinations where like things were stretching and like perspective was being
like
altered.
breathing.
Yeah.
I don't remember any breathing issues other than when I passed out, but I think that's just because I had the panic attack.
Like that objects will breathe at you. Like
I don't remember anything like that. Colors were incredibly vibrant though, which was like really nice. I remember we were talking to our friend the other day who has the extreme color blindness. And I was like, I don't know anything about color blindness, but I wonder like what he would see if he was on a fat dose of mushrooms.
He sees like the movie flashback scene version of reality.
Yeah, like when their
protagonist is like before they had color. He's in like he sees like the first 5 minutes of X-Men First Class. Right?
Yeah, they've drug like they've slid the slider all the way to the left, and it's like tans and grays or something like that. Like he can't see any of the colors, essentially, the way he described it.
Yeah, that would suck. Just seeing everything in grayscale.
Yeah. I felt like I was a little mean to him, and he didn't laugh at my joke about how I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go out later and just enjoy all the beautiful colors. You guys ever do that? And he just sat there like stony face, and I was like, well, goddamn, man, I didn't mean to be mean.
Oh, Pete Bumpety doesn't mind.
I don't think he did either. But yeah, I felt bad. I wish he'd get those glasses. I almost want to help him get them. He was like, oh, they're so expensive. I was like, how much? $600. And it's just like,
oh, that's not too. Come on, for colors.
Maybe we save up, Bobby. You know, like I know you like your supplements. You're probably spending that every couple months on your supplements and stuff. Goodness, I'd want to see colors.
You make all your money back because all you have to do is make some overly dramatic YouTube video with sad music of you crying.
Yeah, we'll promote it. Yeah.
You know what? How about all of us just make that video?
I haven't. I've
we'll
never
pretend to be colorblind.
I'll just pretend to be colorblind.
What if you did that, but then you suddenly became very racist now that you could tell the difference, and that was your video? You put on the glasses and then started going on a rant about all the other colors of people.
Unbeknownst to me, this guy's brown and this guy's yellow.
I always wondered why my neighbor was such a douchebag. Now I know. Thanks to these.
You're like TV and it shows you crying, and then it pans and you're watching Casablanca. Just a black and white movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We should all fake being colorblind for the clout.
Too late now.
You know,
you should move to LA with your weed problems.
Oh yeah, I love the taxes there. That sounds like a great idea. Let's go somewhere where we get taxed at like a 45% rate on every scale. How about like any other place except for New York and the world? I would rather hang myself than move to fucking LA. Right now I'm probably moving to Colorado, but like shit, like why not go to Vegas and avoid like, don't they have no state income tax there? Like
they do.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean you live in a goddamn desert, but I like to play cards, and they got legal weed. You go outside, they got legal prostitution, which isn't really my thing, but I think it's cool that it's there. Or you could go all the way up to Oregon, where they've decriminalized every fucking drug that you can think of, and they have Indian casinos. That's a reoccurring theme to me. I like to gamble. I like to play poker. Or fucking there's lots of places. Any of the places that have medical marijuana and also have like very low taxes, especially like the places that have no state income tax, like that's much more advantageous for me, much more attractive of a destination for me than LA. I've never liked LA, man.
I don't even know if it's true.
You have the correct response. I was saying it because they did this wonderful thing in LA, where they legalize weed. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
You can have a business on it. But in order to get a license for your business, whatever business it is, growing, cultivating, testing, selling, they're only giving out a certain number of licenses, like a taxi cab medallion. Mm-hmm. And the first people in line are people who've been to prison for 10 years on weed crimes. So
I only did the 2 months.
Well, it goes down, and once they run out of guys in 10 years, so they set up this now. You think, oh, isn't that equitable? Isn't that wonderful? They're giving something back to the community. But it turns out that just because you went to prison for these crimes doesn't mean you know how to run a business, and that you're still a criminal. That you're still like basically a criminal. So all of our entire weed landscape in LA, in like the Los Angeles area,
shady as fuck.
Is shady as fuck. Is full of people who are always trying, like, okay, well, that's a nice business, but how can we squeeze a little more? Is there anything illegal we could do?
You want a hand job with your dope?
So there's like a sub-market of guys trying to sell just their convictions to you, so you can have a business that has them as a 51% partner because they've been in prison for 10 years.
All right, anybody out there in LA who's interested in getting this started, I will jump on board, partner with you. I will start a temporary residence there, which you will pay for. And just let me know if you want to skip ahead in that line. We'll be partners on the marijuana business that you do everything for.
There's a real business opportunity here. We used to do that with black-owned businesses when I worked in construction. So here's what would happen. The states would put out contracts, and the contracts could only be awarded to, I think it was black-owned businesses. Or maybe it was minority-owned is how they phrased it. Minority-owned businesses. So what these minority-owned businesses would do is nothing. They would just take 5% of the profits and be like the front man. And then some other business would do it all behind the scenes. Yep. And they just sort of skimmed it off the top. And I remember it. I'd be like, man, we buy a lot of stuff from this company. And they're like, yeah, they don't do anything. They just add 5%.
They're the Tony Sopranos of the operation.
I've seen this firsthand of like special like black-owned business, like small business loans and things where it's like, all right, well, I'm talking to my black friend and he applied for the loan and he owns 51% of the business and I run it. And he kind of just...
This sounds like the HUD scam that Tony Soprano did, where they have like the black doctor apply for the loan to buy the low-income housing, and you get like the government loan because you're turning low-income housing into minority neighborhood like housing, and then you default on the loans after you've gutted the houses, and they just all chop up the money. This sounds a lot like that. So I don't want to do anything mob-related, but yeah, if anybody wants a legitimate business that involves someone who's done hard time for marijuana crimes, I would absolutely jump on board with you as long as it's
Kyle will do
legal.
Nothing except
I will do absolutely
profits.
Nothing except for skim profits and be there to sign paperwork.
Yeah,
perfect. After you fax it to my real home in another state.
Yeah, I mean, guaranteed turnaround time less than 3 weeks.
I mean, instantaneous. I get on the ball. You fax me something, you're getting it right fuck back. I don't like people who take a long time to reply to emails. Okay. I'll say this about my probation officer: fucking professional. I love that dude. When I wanted to go gambling at the casino, I typed this email and I was like, hey, it seems like a dumb question. Can I go gamble in another state for a few days, even though I'm on probation? It was 90 seconds later when I got the reply. Absolutely. Which casino? Where will you be staying? And I'm just like, Harris Cherokee Casino, Cherokee, North Carolina. I'm staying at the resort. I got a suite. Have fun. It's just like perfect. I love that. And he's clearly getting them on his phone, just like anybody who's a goddamn professional should. Yeah. I get my emails on my phone, and you get replied back to them within seconds. You send me a WhatsApp, a text, anything, you get a fucking response.
Kyle's good that way. If he's awake, he replies.
I instantly reply to everything.
Sometimes he's asleep when people would be awake.
Yeah. You can't count on me to be awake at noon. All right. But if I'm awake, but hey, if it's 4 a.m. and you've got a question, you're probably going to get an answer.
This is 100% true.
Yeah, you're very responsive, but sometimes those 3 p.m. messages out like a light.
Oh yeah, get nothing from me.
I value heavily a place that has blue skies, like sunshine. That's one of the things I look at. I like you look at taxes, and someone else might be looking at school systems or whatever. But blue skies means a lot to me.
Yeah.
If I could find a place that was like 30 Days of Night, that vampire movie, like if I could go to like Juneau, Alaska or something, where there's like 3 months of darkness a year, I'd pick that. Honestly, Alaska's on the list. I'm going to look into what kind of fucking internet Alaska has. They're on the list now. Okay.
It's like 90% men, though, isn't it? Alaska.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, Alaska's off the list, but
yeah,
I do like it dark. I do like it dark. Like every room in my house that I spend any significant amount of time in it has blackout curtains. There's blackout curtains there. There's blackout curtains in my bedroom. I like waking up and not knowing if it's noon or midnight. I love it. I love it.
That is part of my recipe for depression. Like if you wanted to get me depressed, part of it would be keeping me in blacked out rooms.
I'm playing this game on hard mode, Woody.
Okay.
I want depression to try to creep into my life on a daily basis.
You bring it
so that I can stomp it out and just and that's my little victory every day. Just getting out of bed.
And we get that done by 4 p.m.
to feel accomplished. I make it out of bed. We did it again. We did it again, boys.
That's like a little hobby that you have with yourself, making yourself depressed. Draining your serotonin. Yeah.
Just like the hobby I have where I tie nooses and hang them in my house occasionally. I love that. I think of it as arts and crafts. I guess that could be perceived as some sort of weird racist joke. It's not. That was supposed to be a suicide joke.
Oh yeah, I took it as suicide. You know who's looking hot lately? Who's looking